Welcome to the Trippi Coaching Podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Trippi, weight loss and confidence coach, along with Tommy Else, personal trainer. And today we have a special Q&A show lined up just for you. So whether you're listening on your morning commute, during a quick lunch break, or while winding down after a long day, this episode is all about you.
The Trippi Coaching Podcast is sponsored by Hairborn Salon. Always looking for ways to make life easier for their clients, Hairborn is excited to launch their new online booking platform for appointment scheduling. Visit hairbornsalon.com to set up your account and schedule your next service, and be sure and tell them that the Trippi Coaching Podcast sent you to receive 10% off. Online booking is not required. You can also call 630-785-6862, or you can email them at info@hairbornsalon.com.
What's up, Tommy?
Andrea, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. It is the end of the month. It is time for our monthly Q&A. As always, this is one of the favorites of our listeners, and so we have a couple questions we're going to tackle today. We're excited to get to them. So our first one is came to us from Mary, who had asked if there is such a thing as too much protein. Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
The short answer is yes. So here's the problem with too much protein. If you look at most protein supplements, they tend to come in 20 to 25 gram servings, and there's a reason for that. Mm-hmm. And that's because your body realistically is only going to absorb that much, and even then it may not get the entire 20. Athletes might need more, say 30 to 40, but in a given time, anything you're having beyond that, first of all, isn't going to get absorbed. You're just wasting it. But it also is hard on your kidneys to process all of that protein at once. You'll notice that there's a reason why they don't make like 100-gram protein drink. It would just be too much. The other problem people tend to have who get too protein centric, if they're drinking a lot of protein drinks or eating a lot of protein, is they tend to be neglecting their vegetables and their fiber, and then that much protein can really block you up. And then they get real big stomach aches and stomach pains and constipation and things like that. So if you are on a high protein diet, it's very important to keep your vegetables and your fiber up so that you can help keep that moving through your system. And your body's, again, not going to absorb any of that protein from the food or whatever the source may be if it doesn't go through your whole system in a timely manner, because it's going to just lose its nutrients.
Yeah, I always say with every meal, protein meal, always have some type of wet food with it, meaning vegetable or fruit or something to help guide it through. And yeah, you got to watch that kidney. For women, I recommend, if you're looking for a healthy, slow weight loss, 3 ounces, 4 ounces of protein at the most for women. And I would recommend for men who are working out 5 to 6 ounces of protein. Mm-hmm. So. And if you ever have a question on how much that is without a scale, take a look at the palm of your hand. And without your fingers, the palm of your hand to your wrist is about the size of the piece of meat or chicken or protein serving that you should have. So that's a nice guide. It's always with you.
And if you'd like to know more about stuff like that, you can visit our previous episode, Visualizing Your Portions.
Very good at pulling that one out.
You can, it's back in the early days, but we did talk about that.
We did. Our next question is, can I eat the calories that I burn during my workout?
Okay, so this depends on what your goals are. If weight loss is your ultimate goal, then I say no. Do not eat the calories you burn. Now, when it comes to the calories you burn, it's usually being told to you by your smartwatch, maybe your phone. They're not always accurate. In fact, they're rarely ever accurate. It's in the ballpark probably, but it is not an exact science. And I don't know of any smartwatch by any company at any price that has got it at 100% accuracy or even close. So you're already playing with numbers that you don't know are entirely true. And if you are trying to create a calorie deficit, so we know that pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So if you're trying to burn it from a caloric standpoint, that means you need to create a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories. Let's say you burn 250 calories, 300 calories a day from your workouts, and you're having a 2,000 calorie a day diet. Okay, now you're down to your 1,700 calories for the day. All right, so that 300 adds up from that day, then 300 from the next day, and so on and so forth. After 5 days, now you're at 1,500. So this is why it can take a while for people to get down in weight, depending on their balance and their nutrition and the calories burned. If you go and just fill those calories back up, then you're just staying at a level caloric intake. Now, if you're not trying to lose weight and you want to replenish your body with good foods and nutrients for the couple hundred calories that you may have burned in your workout, then sure, there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's all just a matter of making sure that you're eating the right things. It doesn't mean that you've earned a burger or something like that at Burger King. It's just, if you want it, if you have 250, 300 calories, then yeah, you can have some more fruits and vegetables or, chicken or something at home or whatever. But it doesn't mean go to Portillo's and, have a field day.
I agree with you on that. I think that when you do eat those calories that you burned, you get this reward mentality. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I worked this hard. Now I can go to a Portillo's or I can have this. Not a good thing to start at all.
It's not, because it can be a slippery slope, because then it's like, well, I burned 400. This was 600. So it would have been worse if I hadn't worked out. The
overestimation, yeah.
Right. And again, we're going off of numbers that we don't really know are 100%. So your best bet is to just, whatever it says you burn, great, log it and just go on to the next day. And
focus on the quality of calories. Don't focus on replacing the calories, right? Just eat good food and you'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
As always, I, of course, have been who else but Tommy else.
And I am Andrea Trippi. And until next time, here's to a healthier, more confident you.
The Trippi Coaching Podcast is produced and mixed by me. Who else but Tommy else? Theme song provided by Professor Click. Be sure to check him out at ProfessorClick.com. All one word, KLIQ.com. The content provided in the Trippi Coaching Podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional, medical, health, wellness advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Be sure to like, rate, and review the show, and you may hear your review read on a future episode. And follow the Trippi Coaching Podcast on Facebook for exclusive content.